Now, here's the next video in regards to factoring. You're going to see a lot of situations where you're going to have to factor a trinomial, specifically a quadratic trinomial. Let's talk a little bit about quadratic. You're going to see a lot of terms later on in this course in which situations are expressed as a quadratic. So a quadratic is any algebraic expression that contains x squared as a lead term. Now, before I continue with this, I probably should give you a little background. You might recall we did something yesterday called FOIL, or you did something in another class called FOIL. This occurs when you multiply binomials. And though I wish I could be more entertaining about this, we were telling folks yesterday, F represents the outer, the O represents the inner, or the, no, I got it wrong. F represents the X and X, which are the first. O represents the outer. So that's going to be positive X because of this. It's 1 times X. The inner, I'm just going to keep finding colors as I go. Oh, goodness. That's not what I wanted. The inner is negative 4 times X. And the last, oh, goodness. I need to just slow down. Yeah. The last, by the time I finish typing this, you've already written negative 4. So keep in mind that those are your terms. And then you're going to find yourself combining like terms, and this is your answer. And this is what they call the product. And you're happy. Now, too many times in business math, you have to reverse that product. So in order to reverse that product, one way a lot of people do it is they do it mentally, because they've realized a few things. Like, for instance, they've realized that negative 4, it can be negative 4 times positive 1 or positive 4 minus 1. Those are two possibles. However, you want a sum of negative 3. So what's going to happen is you're going to use negative 4 and positive 1. So what a lot of folks do is they just realize x squared is x times x, and that's your first. Negative 4 plus 1 are your last, and they give you the negative 4. And then you just do a little series of checks like what just happened here, and your answer would be a negative 3. So that's actually the answer in factored form. Now, they get a little more complicated. Sometimes, oh, I just did it again. Every so often you see one with a number in front. Now, if you have one with a number in front, it's going to take a little more of a guess and check. Now, I'm going to propose x and 2x. Now, I know that 6 can factor into 2 and 3. Now, I could put the 2 there, but 2 is not going to work there because you can't have a common factor within one binomial expression. So I'm going to drop that idea quickly. Now, I'm not sure, but maybe I'm going to try 6 and 1. Now, I could try 6 and 1. The first and last work, but does the outer and inner work? And you're going to find out that one is 12x and the other is x, and that's 13x. So, and I'm trying to get a -7. So now you might be thinking, no, that's not it. But since I'm trying to get a negative, I might realize I need 2 negative signs. And I also need 2 negative signs because of the +6. But that particular combination did not work. So I'm going to have to try another combination. Now, I might try 2 here and 3 here. And then I'm going to use the negatives because I know that 2 negatives make a positive. Now, if I test these, if I test the inner and outer here, that's a -4x, and that's a -3x. And if I add those up, that's -7x. So after it passes that check, I know that this pair of binomials is the final answer. Now, there's other ways you can also break this down. Some instructors like the AC method, but too many of the problems here really are just short little factors that you could probably guess and check. So that's how you would factor a quadratic trinomial.